Congratulations, you've gotten your crush's phone number, and you're overjoyed. You're so into this person that you don't want to make any mistakes that would ruin things, and I entirely understand. That's why I made this movie particularly for you because, to be honest, whether this contact develops into a full-fledged relationship or fades into obscurity is totally based on what you do. So, my dear brother, thank you very much for clicking on this video. I've got a few tips for you. I'll offer you some suggestions for what to text her initially, and we can also speak about what to do once you acquire her number, so stay watching. My name is bGalaxy, and this is my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for taking part in this discussion. It'll take you directly to the platform, so jump right in. So, when it comes to texting, many individuals are confused about when is the best time to text. If you ask me, there is no such thing as a right or incorrect timing. All I would say is, don't wait too long in messaging them after you meet them, since it may come across as if you weren't interested, weren't wowed by them, or just weren't as enthused by the entire acquaintance or encounter. So, if this lady is someone you truly like, I'd suggest the following day, like the morning after you meet, would be a good moment. You don't text her straight away to give the impression that you're desperate. You wait till the next morning. The second most often asked question is, what do you do when you acquire her number? Do you prefer texting or calling? Personally, I believe it is entirely up to you. However, I have the impression that when you contact someone and the phone rings, they must pick up the phone or they will continue to disrupt their quiet. In contrast, if you send a text message, they may always take their time and respond. Think about how they want to answer to you, and it will be less uncomfortable since you'll know if she writes back, she'll be sending you something she really means, right? If you were to seek my advice, I would always recommend don't call, instead send a text message and wait for a response. Another common texting question is, what do you send your crush once you've met her for the first time? So, maybe, the suggestions I'm going to share with you will help you get a bit farther along in developing a very fantastic connection with her. The first thing to remember while texting your crush for the first time is that you should always leverage the connection that you two have established. So, if you met her at an event and inadvertently spilled a drink on her, your opener might be, "Hello, it feels wonderful to be able to chat to you without dropping a drink on you this time. Happy face, emoji." What I'm really trying to get across is that any connection, whatever transpired, and how you guys met may be used to spark the initial discussion. Number 2, keep it brief. Now, keep your SMS messages brief. Keep it very, very, very brief. You've only known this girl for 24 hours, okay? So just make it short and basic, right? Keep your grammar in mind since it might be a significant issue for the person you're messaging. It might be a big turn-off if you wind up writing an entire paragraph with poor grammar. So, make things brief and straightforward. The third. Avoid being inappropriate. There are far too many individuals nowadays that go right into something sexual or completely inappropriate. So, for example, if I were you, I would never send a photo of myself topless laying in bed saying, "Hey, what's up?" It's just unnecessary. In reality, you should not submit any images initially. Anyway, avoid anything that would give her the impression that you desire more than simply establishing friends with her. Even if this is true, you don't want it to be sensed in your very first message. Fourth, a basic text such as, "Hi, good to meet you." Correct, it's brief, to the point, and explains precisely how you feel after meeting them. It's not overpowering, and it's leading since she'll feel obligated to contact you back and say something to you. If the emotion was reciprocated, she'd probably respond something like, "Hey, it was very lovely to meet you too. Really, I had a really fantastic time and I actually look forward to seeing you again." It's already in the bag. 5. So you could also add a little bit of levity and texture shortly after you meet. So it's more like, hey, this is me breaking the code by messaging you quickly. What's up, honey? I prefer the name B for some reason, but you get my drift. It's lighthearted and hilarious because you're putting yourself out there and seeing whether she's on the same level as you. You'll be grooving before you know it. 6. So, if you're feeling very fortunate with this lady and you know the vibes were genuine and reciprocal, you may push your luck a little bit and send something along the lines of, hey, this is the attractive guy you met at the event yesterday, keep my number. Is it straightforward? Is it confident? It might be, but since it's so unexpected, you could be piquing her attention and sparking her curiosity about you. Furthermore, depending on who she is, she may find it amusing. Number 7, another text you might send may seem improper, but it may still pique their interest. You may write something like, hello, this is B, you met me yesterday at the party, to start the flirting text. You're telling her right away that you're interested in getting to know her more, and if she's feeling you and you're on the same wavelength, things may move quickly. 8. Another approach to text is to stand straight up and flat. So you might say something like, hey Galaxy, it was great meeting you yesterday. You were the high point of my evening. You immediately make her feel special. You make her feel as though she means something to you, and if she feels the same way about you, she's going to open up quickly, and you'll be up and running before you know it. Number 9, you may text something like, hello, this is B from last night's party, do you want to hear what I thought when I first saw you? She'll text you right back, like, oh hello B, what were you thinking? And then you walk in there and do your thing. Number 10, now with this specific link, this should be sent after you were unable to SMS her straight away due to unexpected circumstances, correct? So, after a few days, you could send her a message saying something like, well so apparently, let's pretend the name of the location you met was Sin City, right? So you might argue that Sin City was only interesting because you were there. When will you be able to make me happy again? You're flirting with her, telling her that the only good thing about the entire thing was meeting her, and you've just asked to see her again. You've got it going, if you ask me. Another option for the first SMS you may send is number 11. Hello, Galaxy. It was a pleasure to meet you. I'm overjoyed to be able to send the first of what I hope will be 1,000 text messages. This letter is pleasantly ambiguous and achieves a decent balance between being friendly and flirtatious. If you're fortunate, you'll capture her attention on this one, and she'll be more than willing to engage you after that initial text and meeting. I could also use open-ended questions for number 12, where you might say something like, what question would you want me to ask you last night that I didn't think of? This is a question like this. If she isn't a talkative person, she may not engage you, should simply go ahead and say nothing and you'll be stuck, but it's always worth a try, and this is like when you're totally certain that this lady is a chatterbox and she's communicative. She can genuinely carry a conversation, else, it will fail before it even begins. So you may want to use that one carefully. Finally, you may just send a text message like this. Hey, this is B from last night's party, and I'd really want to get to know you if that's alright. It very much speaks for itself. These are just a few of the suggestions I have for you when it comes to messaging your crush for the first time. You may absolutely pick and choose what works best for you, and I wish you the best of success. My name is B Galaxy, and I'll see you in the next video.